You are now listening to an Open Mind Industries production. Welcome to Open Mind Industries Podcast, The Mind Unleashed. Sit back, relax, and unleash your mind. Hey guys, welcome to episode 89 of The Mind Unleashed. As we always do, let's do a few shoutouts to everybody. How are you? How are you guys doing? How is everybody doing? How has COVID been for you? Hope you guys are still employed. It's been a while. It's going to be a while around this episode. Pretty much going to be talking about, theme parks, what the hell's been going on with that. Deep dive into my theme park life. What's been going on with the layoffs with Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, pretty much all the crazy shit. Give you guys a deep dive. It's been a while. It's been a while, a few months, a few days. So let's get to it, man. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope some of you who have been in the theme park industry, hang in there. We love you. It's been a fucking wild ride. Hoping, this it's better. I thought going back was going to be weird, and it was. It has been. I've been back to work only for a few months. I can't even say how wild it's been from being gone from fucking March, and then, going back in only for a few months now. Then June, July, August, September, now October. So I've been only working for 5 months, and it's fucking been wild. You couldn't script this shit. I mean, honestly, like, when I got hired back in 2007 for Universal Orlando, I was, out of a job for about 5 years, because I did some naughty shit, and I will speak about that. I got busted into a fucking little scheme thing about, going into Sears, now that Sears is fucking whatever, and, using a glitch in the computer system to take money, and, digitally, and it's now that I'm cleared from all that, and it's been, fucking 14 years now with Universal. And I've been good, and so many stories. I could write books of what I know about Universal and the stories that happen on day-to-day instances with guests and stolen items and lost, money plants and all that shit. You guys would not believe our stories. If we could write a book, you would never believe us. It's weird. It's weird how you go into a job every day and, you come back for more. It's exhausting. It's something like I could never imagine it to be. It's hard to go into a job. I don't know if I want to say normal job. I don't know what a normal job is. Maybe a desk job. I don't know. But for us in the theme park world and people that work in the theme park, if you're working in all different climates, heat, humidity. Every day of the fucking week, weekends, you're dealing with anything from lowest of 10s to like 7,000. The highest that I've ever been involved in was 53,000. Yeah. And, it's fucking terrifying, It's fucking terrifying. Some days, I don't know if you've seen the old Harry Potter, stuff, but I was involved in that little sequence of when we opened up Forbidden Journey, we call it FJ. I was standing literally in by Margaritaville, choppers flying over us, literally telling people, "I'm sorry, you did not make it in." You'll make it in the islands today, but you're not able to go to FJ. And being cursed on every fucking language on the man, being called a cunt, bitch, all that shit. I've been called it all. You have no idea what we've been through. We came all this way, and why we've even treated this way, and all this shit. It's just like, you never come to the theme parks on a holiday. But let me, deep dive into, my experience with the company and what it's been like working at theme parks. would I trade it for the world? Honestly, no. It's hard to take a step into another company, working for maybe a Walmart or Target or something like that. Nothing compares to a fucking theme park life. Like when I finally came here to moved from New York, Scotia, New York. You know, grew up in Albany, New York. Schenectady, New York. I moved to Scotia, New York. I've had all my surgeries done in Troy and stuff like that. So, like I said, our biggest thing was, you know, trying to find new jobs, stuff like that. And Florida, or, you know, New York was good to me, very much so, but there's not much there, job-wise. Either you're working for a grocery store, maybe a dealership, maybe for fucking Dunkin' Donuts, what have you. You know, you're working, and most of my friends that are on Facebook, you know, looking, and most of them are in, you know, doing roofing or fucking concrete work, which nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with any of that kind of work. You make fucking great money, great benefits, all that good stuff like that. But it's weird that you come from that, and then you come to Florida, which, you know, mostly is entertainment. You know, either you're working for, you know, same thing here, you're working for one of the doctor's offices, or you're working for, you know, a gas station, or you're working for fucking some medical thing. But the theme parks, as a whole, are the biggest revenue builders for Florida, you know, and tourism, and you know, companies like Fun Spot, Legoland, Gatorland, stuff like that. When I came here back in 2001 with my mom and, you know, my mom's ex-boyfriend kid and stuff like that, my brother, you know, my uncle was still kicking. We went to go to Universal. That was like the biggest thing we've ever done. You know, if you could have told me in 2007, holy shit, you're going to be working for Universal, you know, my mom was like, okay, it's time to find out. I applied for, I think, how many jobs did I apply for? I think I applied for about 3 to 4 jobs. I applied for Disney, I applied for Universal, and I applied for SeaWorld, but Mom was like, it's time for you to find a job. Now, I'm going to be very open in this episode, so I'm not going to give away all the damn secrets to Universal and how it runs and what all the secret things are and how you can get into the park, you know, and secrets and shit. It's not about that. It's been a wild ride for us people in the theme park industry. I just want to speak about what it's like to be a theme park worker and what my journey was with this company, and still is. Knock on wood, knock on the computer that I'm recording this on, the fucking Zoom recorder. It's been time to record another podcast. It's been hell for a lot of us. It's been fucking crazy. My hair's just fucking messed up because there's gel in it, and you still need to get a haircut. It's been a while. I think I haven't got a haircut since since I got back. As Beetlejuice would say, like, quarantine's over. So quarantine and now. So it's been over about a month or a couple months since I've got a haircut. As you can see, for those who watch the videos, shaved, just my own discussion of the face mask we have to wear for work, stuff like that. But let me kind of dig into it. So, I pretty much got to Florida. We got here in early April, and the goal was to finally find a job. Ollie was fucked. Ollie did some bad shit with Sears, and, did my restitution, did my community service, paid my dues to society, guys. I did everything I needed to do. We'll never do it again, because I'm a fucking stupid ass for even following with it. Took the blame for everybody. And, I put that in the back seat. I was interrogated the wrong way by people that interrogated me at Sears. The funny part is, when I came back, I was already employed with, Universal for 3 to 4 years, so I was having a good run with Universal. Still looking to transfer into entertainment and stuff like that around the park. I started, and, so I went back for vacation. It was time for vacation, you put your hours and stuff like that. Told the boss, I'm like, hey man, I'm going to fly back to New York for the month. And he goes, so I began this ritual of, going back to New York, for 1 month, and it would usually be towards the end of the run, because you can't, in summer, you really can't take time off. During the August months is when they kind of do your plateau. So you get kind of used to that routine of, Christmas, holiday, boom, boom, boom. You fly through months so fucking fast. In the theme parks, it's insanity. You think, working at a desk job? No, you fly through months of, okay, today is, fucking Tuesday. It's Halloween Hornets. Like, right now, Halloween Hornets would be happening, but right now we're going through the COVID shit. I promise I'll talk about all this. It's probably gonna be a long episode, so fucking sit back. And, you know, if you don't like it, turn it the fuck off, or just don't, you know, whatever. But, I'm talking about me and what it's been to me, so yeah, I did my shit, flew down here in April, did the application, Universal was the first one to hire, call me. Automatically fucking brought in, I dressed up, I can literally show you my ID, but I'm not gonna show it, should I show it? Should I show it for y'all? Let me block some stuff on it, cause I can't show you, yeah, let me block something. Yeah, let me block. Yeah, let me block that. So, there it is. Day one photo. This has not changed in, many years. That photo was taken in 07, April of 07. Was it 2015? No, sorry. April 16th, my anniversary with Universal. It's been insanity. It's been crazy. So, yeah, I get this call from Universal, and, nervous and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go through my whole entire hiring process and into what the company's done to me. Get a call back. So I were told to report. I put on these fucking stupid khaki pants, the shirt you see that I still own somewhere. I think I finally donated it or whatever. It's like, I wore some shitty shirt. You go in, there used to be a huge, like, T-Rex from Jurassic Park. Now it was cut in half and it's put inside the horror makeup show. So if you look in the horror makeup lobby, which is now inoperable, because entertainment has to be in there, unfortunately, because of our social distancing and stuff like that, we're allowed to go in there and do door counts, etc. But you'll see him there. So I always told somebody, I'm like, that was in the fucking Universal HR lobby when I got hired. Hired is you have to sign it to security. Again, I can't give all the details of how it's done, but if you go there and you'll understand. So you just go in, you check on security, they call your name, and I was nervous, man. It's been like 6 years since I've had a job because I've fucking paid my debt to society, spent, a couple nights in jail, and then had to pay restitution to the company and all that shit like that. But we're gonna go into all this. So you get hired, and I was hired in probably about 5 minutes. I told the lady my, you brought in a night, like, tell me a story about, like, your best thing. So I couldn't say serious. I could just do my old job, which is price jobber for those living in upstate New York. You know what the hell that is. It's a grocery store, like Publix or Winn-Dixie and stuff like that. So I'm getting text, my lady's trying to... That's fine. It's like Winn-Dixie or Publix subs, by the way, are the fucking best things. You'll probably eat better than Subway. I highly recommend them if you're here in Florida. Hands down, best things I've ever eaten. I probably popped another video. But yeah. So anyway, you get hired, and she must have felt bad for me or something or whatever, but she hired me. She said, you know what, I think you're perfect fit for this company. Let's get you in. And got hired, got my freaking background checked out with my finger. You want to tell people now at Universal, like, yeah, they fingerprint me, like, no, they don't. I'm like, yes, they do. So yes, they do. They fingerprint you, can get background check because you're working around children and families and stuff like that. You want to make sure people are on the up and up. So I get hired. I get hired at Poseidon's Fury, for those who don't know. It's closed down right now just due to capacity and stuff like that, and it's got the water vortex. I don't know if you guys know who Creed is. Creed is the band, they did they went to the vortex, and they filmed a couple of things at Poseidon. They had this, like, cover shot from, I think it was, like, Rolling Stones or whatever. They took a photo. Pretty cool. Anyway. So, like, get fingerprinted. The next day I get called back. I'm like, hey, like, here's your new stuff. You gotta report. They give you this paper thing. You gotta report to, this thing. Be dressed up. For your first day of orientation. Yada, yada, yada. So, I, get all that. Next day I get called from Universal Loss Prevention or investigations. Again, I paid my debt to society. I literally got tried as, I'm speaking about my life, because I should speak to you guys, honestly and truthfully. What I was tried with was grand larceny, turned on the pet larceny. We stole some money. I stole some cash digitally, and there were more people involved. I just took all the blame for everybody, and I will fucking never do that again. You snitches get stitches, and I kept my fucking mouth shut. I took the blame for everybody, and that's the fucking stupidest thing to fucking do. Everybody else is, they're doing great. Everybody else has got better jobs and stuff like that, and well, I can't say that now. Most people are fucking fighting. 3 of the people that I know are fighting for jobs right now because they're hurting. And one of them actually had the balls to ask me for some tickets, so I was like, nah, fuck you. Yeah, joke's on him. Anyway. I had to go to the court again, and my mom worked for a lawyer at the time and got me out of this shit, and pretty much got an attorney that was high up, did pro bono, and his fee was like almost $2,100 like an hour, almost $2,000 an hour. And literally, he looked through it. He goes, "Listen, man, you were tried as this. They should have tried you as this. They interviewed you wrong. I pretty much did the incident before I was 18, and now I'm like clean and clear." So anyway, when you get fingerprinted, the FBI record was still up, and everything got squished. I was told, "Okay, go ahead and apply for a job. It's time for you to get back in the fucking workforce," and stuff like that. So Universal pretty much, they fingerprint you, and I couldn't really speak about it. I didn't know. And I was like, I can't really know. Like, well, we need you to speak about it. So the next day, I told my mom, I was like, I don't know what to do. So I called my attorney that night. My attorney was like, "Listen, go to Universal tomorrow. Ask for so-and-so. It's a private company. They got to, whatever." So I had to go with my aunt. My aunt worked for the city of Orlando at the time. It was parking administration or whatever. She did like a lot of the events in Citrus Bowl and stuff like that. If you don't know what that is, it's a pretty much arena that they do a lot of college football games in, like Sugar Bowl and stuff like that. I used to pass that every day on the bus once I got hired for Universal. So anyway, going with her, I didn't really speak. I just said, "Hey, I need to speak with you guys." So that we sat down with their people, and I beat the record. I beat the Florida statutes by 6 months. Literally by 6 months. They were like, "Okay, we're gonna give him a chance. He's paid his debts. He's done." So Universal, literally, Teresa, I don't know if you're going to be, she literally looked at the stuff. She goes, "All right, I just need a record saying it's been squished, it's been cleaned. The FBI said it's clear." Literally, when you get arrested, you have 5 different records. So, one for the state police, one for the local police, and then one for one for the FBI. So, I had all my records from that. The FBI, knows everything about you: tattoos, piercings, everything. They know everything. Nothing new. What I've learned, my mugshots are all probably gone. I don't know. I don't even care anymore. Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, my aunt had to speak up for me, and she said, "Listen, he's a good kid. He paid his debts. I've done more. I was on house arrest for 6 months. I did all my stuff anyway, so that's all been squished. And in 14 years at Universal hasn't said anything. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, if I wrote stories, you guys would never believe us. Person giving birth on a ride happened. Anyway, so, I speak up. She's like, "Okay, we're going to give you a shot. So we need you to report." So I had to get a whole new list of where I needed to report the next day. I had to get clothing and stuff like that. I had to get new shoes. One thing I work for a theme park is you got to buy a lot of fucking shoes, depending on what venue you're going to work at. Like, say if you're in park services, you can buy some of their shit, but like, you want to get some good shoes like Skechers. So if you're working for the theme park, guys, please, Skechers are the way to go. And don't get that shitty non-slip. Get that good non-slip. Or because like you're walking on every surface, known to man backstage or in front of house, like it's crazy, it's insanity. Like even my Disney peeps are like saying the same thing. Like they got a new shoe shop, but I still never go into that. I still get my Skechers. I learned that the hard way too. And don't go to Payless and get some shitty ass shoes. And I wear steel toe now, and I'll talk about that why I wear that in just a second. But anyway, I got my new paperwork. I was told to report. I had my ID. They handed me my ID and said, "Okay, man, we'll see you Monday." So, needless to say, like I said, 14 years now with Universal, and it's still continuing. I wouldn't suspect it. My mom's worked for Disney. Stepdad's worked for Disney. And a funny story about a Disney story and all. Like, it's gonna be a long fucking rambling podcast, but I want you guys to know what it's like to be an employee and what my journey has been with the company. And what it's like to be an employee, and what's it like day to day. So, day one was weird. You get in and you have to report, and you go into this huge training room. I won't say where it is, but you go into it and sit down. There's all these people, huge tables, and you sit down. And I was nervous as shit. I'm behind some dude, and then the first day is kind of introduction to what the company is, aka Disney's Traditions is. All my Disney cast members will tell you. It's kind of like a rundown of what the company does, what the goals are, what's expected to be. Your day two is kind of like all your paperwork, your brack systems, like lotto, you learn all that stuff, like security stuff, your codes, where you're going to be. Your day three is like, oh my god, that's like, they cram it into your fucking head so fast. You're doing all your training up, like, you haven't even been on the job yet. Your day three is like, oh shit. And day three could be like, you have like a day of training and then like, maybe a week off, like, because you're busy, or maybe your other job. Most people work 2 jobs. And then you would your day three, where you finally get to go to your venue that you've been selected for, or where you work. And then you're taken onto the job, and then they're like, okay, so your training days with us starts here. Get ready to, do with that. So you gotta make sure you have your shoes, proper wardrobe. Back in the day, which people who've been there, Universal had wardrobe's much different now. I can't really tell you all the ins and outs of like how it's built and stuff like that. I can just tell you what I know. I just try to, for security reasons, I just don't want to say. But you go in and there'd be numbers like A, B, C, D above like this thing, and then you'd have to like remember your fucking number. Even like my first day, the lady followed me with my pants and she goes, what size are you? I said, I've worked at Poseidon, so you look it up online, Poseidon's Fury, and see what they wear. And I had some pretty cool fucking people there, so I started. And, I spoke about my journey, how I got to Universal, and with them and people, and everybody was like, hey man, shit happens, they put you on a 6-month probation to, not fuck up at the venue, not get a safety. I'll tell you what the safeties are. And safeties can be anything from, you just did something wrong in a position you should not be doing, and then you were locked down in that position. So if you're trying to transfer up to Horror Nights or another position in the company, you kind of can't without getting good recommendations, and yada yada yada. Which I have. I have good recommendations, and I have good record with Universal. Stupid things have happened, but I'm clear on all fronts. Stupid things. But anyway. So you go there, you get your pants. I remember arguing with the lady. I'm like, I'm 30-30. She gets 30-30. I went, you don't look like I have 30-30. And I'm like, want to bet. Help for those who are just starting in the company, who may get hired in the future. Make sure you go up 2 pant sizes, because the pant sizes that you usually get are shrunk down because of the wash. You can do take-home wardrobe. I don't do that. They give you a thing called walk time if you're in operations, which I am in. Which walk time is, it's like in case you walk into work and you dress up and then you walk to your venue, you go in the building, you sit in the break room or whatever, you can get your breakfast or whatever you're doing in the morning. Most people arrive like 30-40 minutes early just so they can like sit down, have coffee, kind of, implode from the fucking morning that they have had, or flat tire, shit like that. Or talk to another coworker and just sit and chill and check their phone, check Facebook, what have you. Obviously, Facebook and MySpace was the biggest thing after that. Facebook became after that, and it blew the fucking world. So like, she didn't believe I was 30-30, but again, back to wardrobe, so you would have to know your number. Mine was N461. I don't know how the fuck I still remember that after 14 years, but I do. And the conveyor thing would, like, they type it in, thing would, they check your slot, and you have like this fucking bag, and then like the mesh bag, and then it would have like your gear or your name tag, stuff like that. Because you don't want to take your name tags home. I realized people for a theme park do not wear your name tags outside of work, and I don't know why people do take home. Fuck that shit. People be stopping you all the time for tickets. All the time. You'd be like, oh, you work for Universal? I got you. You got me? Yeah, I got you. Give me like, they never need 1 ticket. They only need like 8. Now, I can't confirm or deny, like, but it happens all the time, man. People be like, But yeah, no matter where you go, you get stopped at Walmart, like, people asking, oh, like, can you help me with tickets? Sometimes, like, I've had cool people that I've worked with, like, my local people, like my barber and stuff like that. I'd hand them over a ticket because they were chill as fuck. Or my neighbors, they did something nice. They were so broke when I first started. It was probably like year 2, year 3. I did give them, like 5 passes. They were broke as shit. Like, shitty rundown car that barely ran. Like, the guy was a mechanic and stuff. Real nice guy. But, just barely making ends meet, Barely making ends meet. So I snuck passes into the mailbox. And I didn't tell them. I was like, he was like, oh, where do you work? We started chatting one day. He's like, oh, where do you work? I was like, yeah, Universal. It's like, yeah, so you taking the bus all the time. And I'm like, yeah, man. Like, I was like, have you guys ever been? I'm like, nah. So I decided that I had enough passes. So I gave him like 4 or 5 passes. And, shockingly, like the next day, there was a 24 pack of Mountain Dew and a couple beers, 6 pack of beer waiting on my doorstep. And with a thank you card because like they've never been able to do that. So that was kind of cool to do for somebody who's never been. And probably the nicest thing I've ever done. I help people out that, if you're cool with me, I'll give you a pass or whatever. Because we fucking barely use them. I got friends and family that come in. I try to hang on to them as much as I can because when family do come in, we blood, sweat, and tears for these tickets. So when they come in, it's like, hey, like 90 of us are coming. They're like, 90 of you? Shit. It's like a 1-day pass. You take them around. You've got to be the fucking tour guide. So we're like, all your coworkers are like, hey, what are you doing here? And you're like, taking the family through. Oh, yeah. And they all salute you because they all fucking know that headache. People arguing, yelling when they go to shit or arriving late in the park. Hey, we'll be there by 7 o'clock. Okay, cool, because the park opens at 8. Let's, whatever. Anyway. So, don't wear your wardrobe at home. I don't even know why my friends do it now. I think they think it's easier. To this day, I think it's easier. I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's like whatever. Clothes are somewhat clean. What are you somewhat clean? I mean, I haven't gotten any sicknesses from wearing fucking clothes from them. I had one friend that had like a couple people had skin irritation, so they have to take their clothes home so that they don't get walk time. That's because of the detergent. And I have a friend that washes our laundry like in a huge truck. Like he takes them to the weight warehouse. Anyway, so yeah, you get your shit, and then like if they didn't have your shit, you tell the dude like, hey, I need a size 14 in this shirt today, or I need this. It was wild. So I went to my venue, trained, and then from Poseidon, I was there for like 3-4 months. We didn't have a training budget at the time. It was really rough. Got me trained up. Come to find out, I know I'm rambling all over the fucking place, but come to find out, there, I was told, weeks, days prior, like, oh yeah, like this sequence, like in the cold room called Sacrifice, where like the vortex opens up and stuff, the dude has to hop over the chain, like he tripped and fell and knocked his fucking head open, and I'm like, why wouldn't you just put a clip there? Just put like a little clip, like an alligator clip or something like that, like, a C-clamp or whatever, so people can get in and out, like, because it's slippery as shit in there, there's like real water, there's liquid and shit like that, like water, and you gotta put the trident, prop back in for the actors can come back in the room, grab the trident, use it at the end of the show, put it in the thing, boom, 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 sequence goes again. So that's why I kind of left aside, because they said I couldn't do that. I couldn't hop over the chain in a safely manner, so I ended up getting transferred to, got rescued first. What a rescue is it's a person that gets put to another venue. So it's like, say if you come into work for the day, but I always hated rescue. Your theme park, you know what I'm talking about. You pretty much fucking get called out for the day. So you come to your job, your venue, your lead or your boss calls you out for the day. It's like, hey, I got a person here from like 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock. What venues are need? Who's calling? Because people call in left and right, especially now with COVID. People are calling out left and right. Who's calling in today? Oh, this person's calling in today. Alright, cool. You get fucking sent over there for your shift. You gotta go back to wardrobe. Which I mean, walk time is, not doing take-home clothing is better because walk time gets more on your paycheck. So, I remember one day, I got paid for 4 hours just fucking walking. Literally went to one venue, oh, we don't need you. Went to another venue, oh, we don't need you. I worked at a venue for maybe an hour, and they go, oh, do you want to go, we don't need you, we're going to rescue you out again. I got rescued 4 times in one day. I went to my venue. This one, my last venue for the day was Incredible Hulk. That was my last venue, and they sent me home. The guy goes to me, he goes, you've been paid for 4 hours. I said, so I got paid a shit ton of, I got paid maybe an hour and a half in walk time. I had to take the bus back over, or transport, back over and over and over and again. I finally just said, screw it, I didn't walk, and one of the guys in the golf cart, one of our techs, took me over and gave me a ride back to wardrobe and change. And I went home that day. I was like, whew. Yeah, a lot of walk. So definitely get some walk time in. That's what walk time helps. But, yeah, man. So, like, I got to go rescue at, I get called out. They're like, hey, we don't need you for the day. Like, we're not going to stop training because we don't think this is safe for you. So I worked there for about 4 months and was transferred over to T2. which yesterday was T2's 3rd year of being gone. Born Stuntacular is now in there. To all my friends and family that we worked together for 8 years, love you all. It was a fucking blast, and something that will never be recreated again. Especially with, like, entertainment and operations, man. Like, we talked to them so much that we were so fucking close. We had barbecues, Christmas parties. It was so much fun. A lot of yelling sometimes, but it was all good. Anyway, it was wild. Like, I got sent over to T2, and I was all excited. I was like, oh, what's this gonna be like? What we gotta do? So I ended up going over to T2 a few months after. One of the managers was like, you know what? We'd like to. The option I was given was like, hey, either you can get out of the company and we can call it a day, or you can continue. We can find something for you. So T2 was it, and I've worked since from T2. I worked everywhere in the freaking company. From, like, every venue. I've been everywhere. I mean, there was a whole whole summer where I was rescued to every fucking venue. I literally walk in and they're like, hey, you're going to... I'm like, oh. I worked at Barney, I've worked at this one, I worked at Kidzone, I worked at, Twister, I worked at Makeup, I work now. But, Makeup and Fallon is where I work, so... If you see me, say hi. And I will say hi to you. But yeah, it's been freaking insane. I worked at every venue. The only venue I have not worked at yet is Hagrid's, I think. Hagrid's is the only one I have not worked at yet. The new Hagrid's motorbike adventure. Mystical Creatures. We just call it Hagrid's. The only venue I have not been officially put at yet to try it out. I've been at every single venue. I've worked backstage, front stage, guest service. I've dealt with the power outages. I'm telling you, we've dealt with some shit over there. We've dealt with some wild hurricanes. We've had hurricanes. We've been shut down twice since I've been there. It's been since I was at T2 for like 8 years. Had a good time there with some great friends and great performers that are fucking phenomenal, like brothers and family to me. They've been great. Everybody's been super supportive with Open Mind, and you got to do this, kid. You got to get going, and many beautiful coworkers and family. I consider family now because we keep in touch daily. We all were chatting back and forth yesterday because yesterday was one of our actors, Mark Matthews, who I hope to have on the podcast with the T2 crew. Which they've all said yes, it's just kind of getting us all together with COVID and sitting down and just talking about the good old T2 days and maybe how it all began and stuff like that, because it's now close. We can really deep dive into it. They have been on a few podcasts, but a few of them haven't, so they're like, shit, I get to tell my story of how I got started. So hope to have them legitly on and talk with all of them, because it's a beautiful thing to have talk to all of them. Because a lot of them have said yes, so it's just kind of getting a day where we're going to sit down and do that. But it's been hell, like I said, with COVID and all this fucking... these layoffs. We knew, like I said, we knew it was coming, but you couldn't expect this shit. But, being a theme park employee, like, people always ask, like, what's it like? And that's why I'm here to talk about it, because it's like, this is what it's like. It's like you come in, no job compares. You can get spit on, shit on, smacked, all in 1 hour. Have to go out of your rotation, which rotation is like different positions. Everybody's like, what the fuck does it mean? I've got a lot. I gotta switch up rotations. You gotta switch up where you're going. So your rotation could be anywhere from this spot to this spot. I can't really say. I don't really want to give what the spots are because, like, it's just for safety, But you get a point A to point B, point C, and then you kind of, you maybe can be a 4 spot, it could be a longer rotation, which is a 5 spot rotation, and then you can go to lunch, or you can do what you gotta do. You gotta tell your people you clock out for like a 30 or a 45, and you do your thing. But it's wild because you can get yelled at and screamed at and spit on in 2 seconds. You didn't even start your day. You didn't even clock in yet, and you're walking from maybe the back house area into the front of the house, which you need to be in full wardrobe and looking presentable for the most part. And then, anybody can stop you from a guest to a manager or, excuse me, question, usually I get stopped a lot, question bathroom or, where do we go to do this or what would you recommend us eating or, so it's good to know that, like, when I started out, like, at the sudden, I was literally thrown to the fucking dogs. No one, they bring you for a day 3, but the day 3 really, they just show you where to go. Luckily, on my day off, when I first started, I was able to take time off, take a time out. I had used the bus for, how many times? I busted for about 5 to 6 years. From the house to work. That's a big thing here in Florida, though, because people are like, Some people have to bust it because of their, disability, or you can't afford a car, it's just really expensive, you're not getting paid enough to afford a vehicle, and then you have insurance, and then Florida's a no-fault state, and all this shit, right to hire state also, so it's like, that's why all my friends in the entertainment industry are like, oh shit, because like they're losing a lot of gigs, and they're not able to do any gigs. So I busted for like 6 years from Universal to there, and it was days where they try to send you out as a rescuer, ER you, and you're like, I don't want to ER. ER is early release from your job, so you can lock in, but you don't get paid, Then you have ERP, which is early release with pay, which rarely fucking happens. It's got to be a special circumstance with the company. It's like, hey, we're going to pay for the rest of your shift, go home. Which has happened to me quite a few, probably about 6 times since I'm with Universal. 2 were for hurricanes, and a couple others were for like, hey, like the venue's not going to be working, something's not working, so like we could send you out doing guest stuff, or do you want to just go home? It's like, bye. Bye, Felicia. You take a couple hours off your pay, take your 30 minutes off your pay. But most people are like, I go home. Because it's like 100 degrees outside. But you get fucking beat from your rotation, you have to go back in. You just got yelled at. My guess, like, you're a piece of shit, you don't understand. Taking you to guess, they grab your fucking name tag. They don't know you from Adam. But it's all your fault. It's all you are the fucking problem for some reason. They're just bitching because they got from the hotel, they've had breakfast, and we should be treated like kings, but it is the way it is, man. You got some people that understand the life. Things are going to happen. I literally used to go to my favorite theme park in upstate New York, where things weren't open. I'm like, oh shit, it's not open today. Well, what do I do today? Well, I can probably just go check out a few shows, and we understand. We understand as people that work the theme parks, like, things might not be working properly. And one of my friends was like, dude, I want to see stuff break. And I'm like, why? I want to see, like, behind the scenes. Like, he was dying to see stuff behind the scenes when he came here to visit. And we didn't get that luxury. We got evac off of ET, and it was the happiest fucking moment of his life. He was like, this is so cool. We're getting evac, and we get to look at all the stuff. And this is like, you don't like this? I'm like, I'm numb to it. Because I've been doing it so long. Luckily it's one of the cool scenes where I was able to they just cycled my ass through. Everybody else had to get out. They're like, we'll cycle him through. They cycled me through to unload. Back to unload. So I was like, eesh. My coolest evac that I've done was, coolest breakdown so far was visited Kong, which my buddy's jealous of because he loves Kong. And it was towards the end with the lights all on, and Kong was all, the animatronic was all lit up, and it was super cool. I was like, ooh, it's pretty. And he's very, very, very pretty. So if you want to go see Kong, go see him over at Skull Island. Amazing. But you literally fucking deal with shit and come back for more. Like, some people don't. Some people are like, But some guests understand, we go through, and a lot of them during the holidays are annual, like, we call them annual pass holders because they buy annual passes to the parks. Because for some people, it's their happy place. And for some people, when I first reopened, back in June now, some guy came and cried. He was little tears in his eyes. It was his happy place. Universal's his happy place. And I can understand for most people, it just becomes they get to see, people like myself and others who still work there. And it becomes, because they get to know you as a person. They know who you are, Hi, my name's whatever. Hi, my name's Ollie. And they ask about you, and, you talk about your favorite football team and stuff like that. So you kind of get to know them a little bit. And they like seeing your face. They like seeing you. They're what they want. Their favorite rides. Their favorite this. Their favorite place to eat is this. And that's their happy place. Maybe they work a fucking 9 to 5 that they don't like, but seeing you, and you kind of get used to that. It's kind of their happy place. And my friend's the same way. Like, he works for Disney, but, like, Universal's his happy place. Like, he has to go see Kong, and he has to go do certain monster things. We have to go to the horror makeup show, which I work, and see a certain performer or see a certain, character that they love. Because it's their happy place. And you don't realize that since COVID, what the theme park's really meant for many people. To say the jump is comparing anything, it's true because, like, you don't, probably DMV or the fucking OR, you go through, it's controlled chaos at a speed that I've never seen, And I worked on high speed, low speed. I'm in good shape, bad shape, all that shit. Worked on sprained ankles, and, like, I worked Horror Nights, and, Horror Nights is our Halloween year, which is insanity. Like, I don't like working it because it's just people just fucking shit-faced out of their minds. They don't know where they are, who they are, what they are. And you gotta deal with them, and they're puking, and they're peeing on themselves, and they're shitting on themselves. Trust me, yeah, It happened. I had a guy literally peeing off a banister, like literally so drunk. He literally pissed and collapsed. That's how drunk he was. Like he blacked out drunk. His dick's hanging all out. Yeah, shit has that. Like I said, if I wrote a book, you wouldn't believe me. Wouldn't believe any of our stories. But shit happens. Like, you know, you're like, oh, god damn it, I gotta call for OPD, which is Orlando Police Department, and they're always there. I won't say where they are on property, but chances are somebody you might be standing next to is an undercover officer. They're pretty well undercover, too. I've got stories about that, too, but I can't really. I told them my coworkers because it was fucking hilarious. I'll say one. This guy was cursing at me during Horror Nights. And we're telling him, like, hey, man, finish up your beverage, please, before you go inside. Yeah, man, you know, fucking guys, this guy's, like, shot shit-faced. Yeah, man, I'll do what I want with them. I'm like, alright, man, like, just stand there, you know, I'll get you guys in a second, just finish up your beverage, just take your time, and then we'll get the next people, so you can get the next people in, you know, they're there, just, like, having a good time. They go to the house, or this guy was so shit-faced, like, he started, fighting me, he started getting angry with me and angry with somebody else, and, I remember, like, he was like, well, what are you gonna do about it, bud? You know, you're running cop security, and security's standing there, but the guy had no idea, the guy standing next to me was an undercover officer. And the guy just goes, alright, I've had enough. Just flips the guy, spins the guy around quickly, and just cuffs him. He's like, and the girlfriend didn't, his girlfriend was so shit-faced, she had no idea. The friends all started getting angry, and the guy's like, if I was you, and the one dude I was at the house with, I was a bodybuilder, and also, you know, a cop, and he was undercover, and he was like, man, if she fucking hit me, I would have knocked her ass out. So, yeah, that shit was fucking funny. I was like, they were taken to the drunk tank, which, aka, was Universal, or, was the T2 pre-show, which is now the Bourne pre-show. They used to put tables in there. One day I found somebody's freaking hang. I was cleaning up the venue, during Horror Nights, and I'm going down there, and there's, like, handcuffs. Like, legit OPD handcuffs. And I'm like, oops, somebody forgot their handcuffs. So literally brought them to my lead and was like, you might want to turn these into security, because, like, somebody's must have forgot their department-issued handcuffs. But yeah, like, stories like that, you would never, you know, you come back and people are just crazy. You know, starting there in 07 and then now working in and being a T2 for like 8 years and working at the Horror Makeup Show and going to all these different venues, it's shocking how much I got spit on and slapped and told I was a piece of shit and, you know, I don't understand. And, you know, one guy, I literally was on the job for maybe the second day of my life. It was like, well, things don't happen here, fella. We're gonna report you. I was like, for what? I was like, okay. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Ship breaks. What ship breaks? Like, you know, Florida's like nothing I've ever experienced. They're not built for, like, cold weather. You know, it's fucking 100 degrees during most of the time of the year. You know, and your cold days are the windy fucking cold days. Your central air is usually on. Just right now, like, you know, my central air is on because it's warm out. When the breezy days happen, it's like 70 to 30 in the morning. It's like, woo, it's cold. And I usually dress in like shorts and tank tops, so I'm used to that shit. But it's weird, like, how you can get yelled at in all these weird situations. You have to turn yourself off mentally and then come back and do it again in the next, you know, 6-7 hours. You gotta keep repeating it. And it gets fucking exhausting, it gets tiring, but you come back and do more. Why? I honestly can't say. The pay is okay. I get paid decently now. And people ask me that a lot. What do you get paid? And I'm like, I get paid reasonably now when I'm worth for the, you know, the bullshit and stuff like that. You know, I can't say I'm like a billionaire by any means. I'm not making good money, but it pays the bills. You know, for the most part. It paid to start the company, and now I'm a little bit in debt because of, you know, credit card and stuff like that. Shit happens, you know. But other than that, it's not their problem. It's my problem. But they pay me well and treat me with utmost respect, and I'm grateful for the bosses that I have that allow me to be myself. That's one thing I gotta say with, you know, working as a theme park person, you know, it's like working for, it's probably the fun time you're gonna have, and it's probably the worst time you're gonna fucking have, because you got people that are happy to understand what you're going through. You got people that know the ins and outs of, like, okay, I'm in a fucking park, and if I treat this person with the utmost respect, he's probably going to do the same to me. And there's some people that are like, I demand your boss. And it's like, okay, sit over there. Fun tip, if you're nice to the employee, they might do nice things for you. You know, maybe. I always tell people, I'm like, just be nice. Like, honestly, like, I could be having a bad day, but if you're like chill and like asking, don't beg me, or if you're nice, I'm like, come here. How many party? You know, this is like people on the rides. I'm like, come on, follow me. I've had a family that was so upset one time that I was like, if they're having a fight, this is at Fallon, like if you got 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been 2 years now, oh shit. Now Fallon, like 3 years. And, like, kid had either Down syndrome or something. They were just arguing about something. They had to get a fucking virtual line pass. And they're like, it's been a hot day. And I'm like, you know what, man? I took that family to 6. So I was like, you folks want to go in now? And they're like, what do you mean now? I'm like, follow me. I opened my door and just fucking brought them right in. They're like, are you? I'm like, you're welcome. Have a good day. You know, I turned that incident into something better, you know, and that family came back out. They're like, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. Like, it's all you had. Like, it wasn't hard for me to help you, you know. But there's one thing that I like to do, help people out and stuff like that. But it's like, be nice to the employee, and they may be nice to you. And there's certain things we can do, and there's a lot of things we can do. It's just be polite. Understand what we have to go through. Yeah, you say it's not our fucking fault, but yet you're putting the ball on our court to see if we get loud. I've had somebody literally at 6 in the morning literally try to fucking test my temper, and I've already had anger management problems. I've already been anger management twice. Court ordered my second time. And, you know, during my community service, I had to sit down with a, you know, guy. I was court ordered to fucking sit down, and we did meditation, which I had to find out what was going on up here. And I spoke about that in previous podcasts and, you know, stuff like that. You go. But, you know, she's like, and she even admitted, she's like, I just wanted to see if you'd get angry. And I was like, really? It's 7 in the morning and we're arguing? Like, what the fuck? I didn't even argue. I was like, ma'am. She's like, I just want to see you flinch. I'm like, God damn. You know, I've learned to, like, just let shit go. I get paid reasonably now. I'm just like, you know, if it's minor, you know, people want to bang their heads in the wall, go right ahead. Go at 100 miles an hour. Put your head down like that. You know, I don't argue with people. I understand you pay a lot of money. You expect a certain amount, but you have to know there's rules too. We need to follow. And again, like I said, be nice to your fucking employees, because like we don't get to see our families a lot either. Like, it was like I think my first like holiday here. I think like Christmas was weird because we didn't have snow, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Now I'm kind of used to it. I'm kind of like numb to it. I'm like, okay, it's Christmas time, or no, it's Christmas, you know, Thanksgiving's gonna. I had to get so used to working on the holidays. You know, sorry, I got a dry skin right there. I had to get so used to working with the holidays, like, you know, eating at the theme parks, like eating with my coworkers, because like we wouldn't see our family for a while, so we'd go for like, as we call it, like our cafeteria. I can't say which one's there. But they're like, tell us what they are. They can't really, you know. But anyway, you know, you'd sit there and you'd have dinner with your coworkers. They would be your family. You know, you sit there and you have Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, or, you know, with them. And, you know, it wasn't much, but it was something the company would offer for you to get a free meal. And it could be whatever you want. It could be, they'd have trimmings and stuff like that, turkey and stuff like that. Most of us would get like a quesadilla. I'd get like a steak quesadilla or steak Philly, you know, French fries, stuff like that. And you just sit with your friends and you just fucking laugh, you know, about your day. And like, hey, you wanna know what happened? That bitch said this and that. I told her to go fuck it. For the record, I told 4 guests to go fuck themselves. Yeah, it took a lot of me to get that out of my mouth. The one guy, he even admitted to guest services he did that on purpose. But a lot of the guests I've gotten angry with, I was in the wrong. I wasn't in the wrong, but they weren't. They fired me up so hard. It was like, come on. I can't tell how many guests I kicked out of that park. You know, it's just be fun with the employees. Especially with COVID, man. COVID is a thing. We have no control over the company, what they're going to do with safety procedure. We're just told what to do. We have to walk with them. If you think you hate fucking face masks, wearing them in public, we hate them more than anything. I have over 15 to 20 masks. Some of them are really cool. You know, we have to wear those fucking things. You know, months prior, we didn't have to wear them, you know, but it's a thing. We're on private property. It's owned by, you know, a fucking company. We have to do what they say us to do. Please stand here. Okay, I'll stand here. Please stand at this line so you don't get hurt. Okay. It's like you don't pass the fucking yellow line because that's where the ride vehicle fucking flies through. There's fucking ride vehicles. I stood next to it. It's like, coming through. It's fucking flying at like 30 miles an hour. I'm like, ooh. You jump over the fucking thing, it's gonna hit you. You know? I've been in tech bays, I've been in some weird shit that I'm just like, telling my friends, like, you know, it's insanity. I can't. This job is so fucking insane on how you come back for more. I think more or less it's the family. You come back for the family because these people, they become friends. They become coworkers. They're more than coworkers. They become, you move here. A lot of people move here from other states and countries, go to college here in Florida, and then move on. Some people move on to other jobs. And a lot of us do have other jobs. Like, most of my coworkers, about 40 to 50% of them have other jobs, work for both theme parks because they enjoy it. And it's a fun place to, what else can you get all these cool benefits of, going to all the damn theme parks and, on your time being, and get rewards for, hotel benefits or, bring your family in. But it's the weirdest thing. I keep telling people it's the weirdest thing of, being out in public, and people yeah, they whisper to you. Case in point, and I'll say this fucking weird story. I went to a wedding up in upstate New York. Was it upstate New York? Somewhere. I was doing something. Or no, I was here in Florida, sorry. I'm trying to remember. I had maybe 2 or 3. It's fucking weird. And I'm at this thing, and I'm talking. I'm like, oh, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, I work for the theme parks. I work for Universal, stuff like that. I'm in operations. I like push buttons to make shit go. Or just do a lot of, mostly you're doing a lot of guest service. So where shit is, diffusing situations, calming people down, just making sure their day's running smoothly. People come in, there's so much they gotta do in one day. There's no fucking way you can do it in 1 hour. I told one person, I'm like, there is, if you know the certain times to go in the theme park, you can knock everything out in 1 day. I've been able to do it with my brother. We did it in 6 hours. And my brother was like, wow, we knocked everything out in 6 hours. I'm like, yep. He's like, wow. I'm like, yep, if you didn't have me here, we wouldn't be able to do it. Depends on the times you're visiting in the park and stuff like that. What shows to hit, what things to do, who's on set, who's not on set. What ride's operating, what ride's not operating, what ride's being down for technical maintenance, stuff like that. Universal doesn't ever fucking shuts down. Only 3 times that I know of, it's shut down because of weather or whatever. Most of the time, even during the fucking thing, raining heavy, we're still operating. During the cold time, we're still operating. It's fucking insane. People go out for dinner, lunch, what have you, to the favorite restaurants or parks, but, it's insanity. Hey, I lost track of what the fuck I was speaking about. But we never stop. We just keep going. And, it's fucking insane. It's that family camaraderie that you come back to do it all over again. Oh, okay, so what else am I going to do that? So, I go to this thing, and this guy's like, what do you do for a living? So I'm like, oh, I do work for Universal. This guy makes, I don't know, fucking $90,000, $80,000 a year. I don't even remember what he did for a living. And I go, oh, that's good for you. Hoping everything goes well for you and everything, yada yada. I'm like, alright, cool, yeah. He comes up, has the balls to tell me, yeah, that's good for you. My daughter's studying whatever over in college, These people make good fucking money. They don't need me, I was get out to the parking lot with a buddy of mine. He was like, yeah, it was a good time. We had a good time. I'm like, yeah, it was good. I got to report to work in the morning. Where are we working tomorrow? He's like, oh, I got to drive the damn bus for Disney or some shit. I think he was driving a bus for Disney or whatever the fuck it was. At the time, he does all the resorts and stuff. So we're sitting there chilling, shooting shit. And the guy comes up. He goes, hey, by the way, do you think you can help us out with a few passes for Universal? Dude, you make $90,000 a year to $80,000 a year, and you're fucking asking me for passes? God damn. I was like, nah, man, I'm afraid I can't help you out with that. This guy was promoting, he was honestly promoting their wealth and what they do. And we go to the golf course, and we go to the, they were just promoting their fucking wealth. They drove around in nice cars, stuff like that. These people could easily afford an annual pass, but have the balls to come up and tell me, hey, do you think you could maybe slip me and my wife a pass or two? And our friends? And I'm like, no. Do you think you can slip me a fucking few $100,000? Chances are no. So, a lot of times I've had that twice. I've had people that, kind of embarrass me or kind of look down upon me. What do you do? Oh, for Universal. Oh, cool. By the way, we have 4 of us coming in, soon, my sister's coming in town. Do you think you could slip in a pass or two? No. Yeah, the second one I've had was that. They really kind of demean me and shit like that. They kind of demean, oh, you guys work for the theme park and everything. And then had the balls to be oh, at the end of it, you think you guys could slip in a few passes? I had to say it to you, but you think you can maybe help us out with maybe a hotel or a theme park, No. Honestly, I only help our friends and family that are friends and family, who really don't get that chance to go visit the parks who are grateful as fuck. And a few friends, I'm talking to you. Get your ass here when you can. It's, like I said, been fucking wild, but that's, it's happened. But, it's theme park life is fucking insanity. It's something that I will never. I think about it now, and I look back at, like, the other day I'm walking out of the park, and it's, it's insanity. Getting screened up for, like, not wearing a mask, or, somebody, don't tell me I have to wear a mask, I am an American. It's like, so am I, but you're on private property, and once you buy a pass, you decide, you decide to follow all the regulations. It's like me going into a shop. Like, it says, hey, please put your mask on, or hey, please make sure you're standing over here and follow, sure, you follow fucking direction, because that's what you want to do. You don't go to a fucking gun range and don't put on fucking earmuffs. Some people fucking do, and they're idiots, but, that's people. It's all about just following direction, doing it properly, and honestly, give respect to your fucking teamwork employees. It's been a fucking blast, and it hurts losing a lot of friends that have put their time and years into Universal and Disney in general. Like, it hurts when you see us on the news, which has recently fucking happened. It's like, even with unions, it's been rough. Universal has been doing it very softly, and I can't hate Universal for doing it at all, because they're trying to keep the fucking parks running. When it first happened, when the first layoff happened, I'll speak about this, now, went back in the morning, and I was at Fallon for a meeting, and I can't say who was there, or how to get into that building. But, we were told, but heads up, like, things happen, guys. I'm so sorry it's happening. But we gotta keep, the fucking lights on, and we gotta, it's... Epic Universe is supposed to happen, which Nintendo is supposed to happen soon, Epic being where it is now. And, they haven't even, like, broken ground, and Nintendo in Japan is happening, and everybody is like, we really could use it. And I love what somebody told me the other day, one of our state managers. We were speaking openly, because everybody's speaking very openly. You guys can find all of this stuff on Google and Reddit and all this shit. So I'm speaking it very openly because it's out there about the layoffs, and Universal's been on all of our local news talking about, hey man, we're laying off, unfortunately, because we can't afford these people right now. And our attendance is what it needs to be. Like, right now, it's really weird with social distancing, and luckily Universal Orlando and Disney have both said they're going to obey. They're going to do their own, like, capacity, which is good. We don't need to rush into this still. A vaccine's not here yet. This isn't here yet. And like I said, in 2007, when I was brought in, like, we were cool. Like, the most I've dealt with, like a year ago. I was dealing with, one day I walked in the fucking park, and this family comes up and they're like, wow, you guys look like you're busy. I'm like, yeah man, it's real busy, we're sorry we're busy, It's the holidays. And I'm like, it's 53,000 today. And they're like, 50, what did you say, what? I said 53,000 people are in the park today. Like I said, a theme park is controlled chaos. Like, they don't train you to learn this shit. Like I said, when I got rescued in, or when I got brought into the company, I went to the park, and I brought food, money with me so I could sit down and eat. I learned every fucking venue, all the back doors, all the indoors where I could go. So luckily I did, because like they threw me to the wolves. I learned all the ins and outs. I learned all where the bathrooms are, because I get asked every day where the bathroom is or whatever. And honestly, it's cool like that the company allows you to go around and play in the park to learn the ins and outs of the restaurants and stuff like that, like what the best place to eat. There's a few in City Walk I still haven't eaten it. My favorite one in City Walk is Cowfish. Like, I'll eat there all the day long. NBC Brew is really good. Chocolate Emporium is cool. Even though the guys, I don't know if he's still trying to sue you them for like the rights of like, you stole my idea of Willy Wonka. So I don't know. That's stories in working Orlando Sentinel. I don't even know if it's real or whatever. Cowfish is a good one. If you're in Island of Adventure, you definitely want to eat at Mythos. Like, we eat there during the holidays because Universal gives us like a 50% off meal with our family. So what I use all my gift cards from Universal, like working butt off, and they give you these cards to turn in. I turn those in for like a gift card to Universal in general, and I use that gift card for my meals. Like, and our bill's like next to nothing, which is great. But I still tip the waiter and everything really well, because that's the right thing to do during the holidays, especially when you get all that money off your meal, and your meal's like $50. It's like next to nothing, so you should tip your waiter really well, which I always do. Cowfish is a good one. Mythos is a good one. Finnegan's over there. I don't like eating at the Harry Potter ones too much. I mean, I do, but the pre-broomsticks is cool, and the Leaky Cauldron's pretty good. But I like eating at weird stuff. Our spot right now, because of COVID, has been Fast Food Boulevard, aka the Simpsons area, which is pretty good. They make the clogger and stuff like that, which is pretty good. I usually get the waffle chicken sandwich because that's like my favorite. So it sounds disgusting, but the mayo and maple syrup is pretty fucking good on your thing, and man, that chicken sandwich is really on point. So I like that with the tater tots. The milkshakes could be better. They're just they're just ice cream in a cup, pretty much. But pretty sugary. So what I do is I usually put in water, and or I usually just get a freestyle cup, which is highly recommended. But it's been fucking wild with you're dealing with all these people, and people are like, how do you deal with all this shit? And you're just like, you just do it crazily, and especially like they're now with COVID, like I said, being the thing, it's weird that the governor's like, we're gonna go to phase 3. Like, I thought I wasn't going to be back until like September, and I came back in June. And my boss calls me for like not middle of like 7 o'clock, then calls me at 8 o'clock, then calls me at 9 o'clock. He's like, I need you here by Friday. I'm like, for what? I need you here by Friday to train. So we had to, do a makeup show, and it's good to be back with makeup. And my heart's got to the makeup team and the teams that I've worked with over the years. So many performers are fucking losing their spots. So many techs are losing their spots. So many back of house people are losing their spots, and people that have given me the time of day, like said hi to me or always waved to me in the morning. You guys are fucking amazing, and so many people have you guys are just awesome. Thank you, and thanking me for being me. It's like I hate to say that I'm part of operations, but I feel like I'm a fucking nobody, which I am a fucking nobody there. But operations is what makes the park go, and it like I said, it's weird. And go back to this topic. I know I'm all over the fucking place in this podcast, but just me speaking my mind about all this and what it's been like for me. We were told, you guys are, operations really isn't getting touched. People have been quitting left and right from operations because it's been so fucking draining on them and their families. It's not that we're not being treated okay, but it's like, I know more things than I should know, and I can't really speak about it in public. I can't speak about it in a podcast, because it's not the right thing to do. It's to air dirty laundry, so I'm not going to. But we were told, directly, like, hey man, your friends maybe from Creative and Epic Universe are being let go for the moment. They'll be back, but we don't know when. They were laid off or furloughed or whatever the fuck it may be. And it's so hard for them because, they were going to work on Nintendo. A lot of them were doing doubles working on Nintendo in Japan and here in Orlando. It's so fucking hard, seeing all these people, and then you see the notices coming up as we're not going to be firing or furloughing, or laying off hourly team members, we're letting go fucking back of house people. And I always tell people, be grateful for what you got, because, every day I walk in, there's some days where I'm hissy-pissy because I'm just tired. You get into a fucking rut. But at the same time, I'm happy, I'm excited what the next day can bring. People always ask me, what's it like, I was like, why, what brings you back? I'm like, number one, the fucking paychecks, the stable paychecks nice to have. But getting decent hours, I'm getting okay hours, what I need. It could be a little more better. I might have to put another day into work just to make what I need. Unemployment was nice. I won't lie, that 600 was nice, and I was able to pay a lot of bills off, so I was able to catch up on some bills. But it's understandable. It's hard to walk in and see people that you worked with over time and kind of got to know, to see them go. Not because they want to go, it's because they have to go, and their department was either cut. And people who, I never thought I'd put fucking 14 years in, and I thought many fucking times, I thought Universal was going to terminate my employment. And, thanks to myself and others who fucking said, hey man, he's the way he is. Case in point, my mom worked for Disney at the time. She worked for the Lion King show. She was a paramedic over there, stuff like that. So Mom was there for about 6-7 years. And then Mom got brought into Universal because Mom started getting carpal tunnel and stuff like that. So the way she got hired was a former boss of mine. And Mom was a paramedic and all that stuff like that. And she worked with Lion King show. Her boss, he saw me outside. I was going to see. My mom gave me her, pass to come in. She gave me like a main gate to come into the park. And she's like, I don't, come on to the park, play around for a little bit, and have some fun. So I decided to go ride Everest and all these cool coasters. And as you guys see, I have earrings, and these will probably never go away in my lifetime. Probably not. Just who I am. Soul patch is gone for now. Just because of the mask. It prickles and stuff like that. So, the one thing he told me, I went to him because I'd love to have you here at Disney. I would love to have you here. I would love to get you, get you that pass, get you here, get you working. But 3 things need to go. And I don't know if you guys can guess what those 3 things are. First one is attitude. Second thing is the earrings. Third thing was the soul patch. And I said, I can't do that, man. I was like, nah, I'm good. It's great that you offer whatever me that, but I could never change who I am. To fit into your lifestyle, to fit into the company's lifestyle. Universal at the time, they were only allowing 1 earring, which was usually my left ear, and then they allowed 2 earrings. And now, Universal's finally fell into the thing of like, okay, you can have tattoos, which you guys see. I have tattoos. These are usually covered up by a shirt. You're allowed to cover them up. You're allowed to have beef. But that was kind of a thing inside the company. I was denied a lot of jobs because of the tattoo reason and all that shit. They were never allowed to say it was disability, but I won't go into that deep. But that company cost me a few jobs, but it's been weird how the company has changed their mindset of employees to allowing you to be you. And so one thing I can say about Universal is they allowed me, my bosses in general, allowed me to be genuine. I would rather be genuine with a guest about like the day, how's the day going, how are you doing, and not putting on a fucking script because they're a script. Welcome to 30 Rock, which is, welcome to the Horror Makeup Show. Welcome to this venue. Welcome to Cyberden Systems, where I used to work. And I would put that out there. Hey guys, welcome to Cyberden. Come on through, man. How you doing? Welcome to morning. People are like, oh wow, cool. And it's like, and they're like, you guys are so like, and the vibe that I always get is you guys are so genuine. The thing I hated always as a theme park worker was when the Make-A-Wishes came up from Disney to us, was saying that we were so genuine. We were so, how you doing? How are you? How are you going? You guys are at least making an effort to make things a little better. At Disney, it's really rough to, do that. And I can attest to that. I've had a problem when I had my annual pass for Disney a year ago. We had to let them expire anyway because we couldn't afford them anymore. Our bills were just piling up, so we had to, take care of those first, and once shit okay, then we can probably get an annual pass. I'd rather have bills paid off first than get, these annual pass. Plus, I have friends, once the park reopens, my family works there, I can squeeze into, to get a pass and go play with Main Gate Time and have some fun. And that's not hard. Because I do my best for them, my friends who don't work for Universal. I give them passes to come on to the park so we can share the love. It's good to spend time with friends, because we've all worked on the theme parks together, and I think that's what it is. It's that camaraderie that you love, that family that you live for. But, the Make-A-Wish stuff, for me, I couldn't even get a freaking disabled pass for Disney. They were really, the one guy was super cool. He goes, you weren't able to get a pass? I said, no, I wasn't. He goes, and I said one word. He goes, where do you work? I said, Universal. He goes, So we started jamming and chatting. So we all knew each other, like, oh, I know the lifestyle that you guys have to live. Like, we do too. We know what you guys have to go through. So I try to give my Disney peeps some love. And right now, they need all the love they can get. All my theme park people can, all the fucking entertainment team, just everybody. It's really rough, And I agree with, how what our backstage people should be making. They should be making some great cash, but at the same time, they take their jobs, some do, I'm saying some, I've met a lot, about maybe 20%, they take their jobs so fucking for granted. I've had a couple texts I've gotten in fights, literally, walking in between a show going, where the fuck's the thing need to be fixed? Excuse me? I can't even say that. One guy's cursing at his other friend about something, I gotta fucking do this fucking job. It's like, bro, you're in a theme park. Be grateful you're not working in a fucking, 9 to 5, running to somebody's house. You're here to fix a fucking light. Things that you're paid to do, and you're complaining that you gotta fix a fucking light. oh, we gotta fucking bring it alert and all this shit. It's like, dude, be grateful for what you get paid. You know, it's like, be grateful you get a job that has benefits, and, you know, you get benefits of bringing your family in the park and all this stupid shit. You know, some of them, a lot of them, I at least 15%, I'm just like, whatever, y'all can go. The other people, man, I am shocked they will let go. You know, a lot of people, like, good tech service people, like people that would give me the time of day, especially all the cool tech service people that I got to know over the years, Universal, like, super sweethearts. You know, people that do AV and mechanical work, and from our lighting to electrical to all those people, like all those fucking people, like super fucking really cool techs that I've got to know over the years, like fix our rides, and you know, they walk in, they're so fucking chill, you know, hey man, how you doing? Hey man, how you doing? I always say hi to our guys because it's like, why not? We're all family, man. Like, say hi. I always nod to them and, you know, tap them and say hello, and they're all super lovely, and they have, you know, whenever I'm walking, hey man, you need a ride here? Where are you going today? Oh man, I'm heading over there. Man, come on and hop on the golf cart, man. We're about to head over and fix this thing. What's going on with you, man? How's your mom doing? Everything? I said, oh, she's doing all right. And those are the people I love, man. Those are the techs that I love talking to because so genuine, so lovely, you know. And then you see people that work at other venues that don't even know what department they're in. The funny part is, like, when I walk in, after being with the company for so fucking long, true story. You know, I come in one day, and one of my friends who hasn't been on the podcast yet, Corey Restatar, came in, and they say I look like him, but I don't look like him. I don't know how. We're so not alike. We wear glasses, I guess, with beard and shit. He doesn't have earrings, but, you know, whatever. Or tattoos, which is the weirdest part. But, Corey, if you ever listen to this, it's funny because I walk in one day and security is debating on where the hell I work. I go to, you know, go in, swipe my ID, you know, they scan your ID, check, make sure, you know, it tells them exactly where you're working, what department you're in. It just says, you know, whatever, you're green to come in. So I come in, the guy was like, looking at me, he's like, you know, your metal detector check, you know, they know about my rod, my stupid little blade that I bring for my perch tips and shit, because, you know, whatever. And the guy was debating with the other guy. Hey brother, yeah, where do you work? Operations. You don't work in food service? No. You don't work in food service? No. I'm like, why? Is that a problem? Like, should I work for food service? So they must have thought I was Corey or something. I was like, the guy thought I literally clocked. He said, didn't you just come in? I was like, no, I'm just getting on property, you know, to do my thing. Where do you work? I'm like, at the time I was working at Horn Makeup in Fallon. I'm still working at Horn Makeup in Fallon, which I prefer to stay with, you know. Makeup is badass as shit. If you guys have the show, check it out. But the guy thinks I'm fucking, he's like, you work in operations? Yeah, is that a problem? You know, and he's like, nah, we just thought you worked in food. I'm like, why would I work in food? Food sucks. No offense to everybody who works in foods, but that's not my thing. I don't like, you know, that's not my gig. That's not my gig. You know? So, I've done more guest service stuff than I can count. I dealt with 2 heart attacks. A guy almost died in my arms. Lady passed out. That's funny ass story. She had a DNR wristband on her wrist, like a medical wristband that says do not resuscitate. And I was like, don't touch her. And even the health services guy that we had to call up and run up, and, you know, I ran to go get the EED just in case, you know, and the lead fucking got me by the collar. What the fuck are you doing? And the health services guy's like, what are you doing? I heard that lead guy's his fucking ass chewed out. He's like, he ain't supposed to operate that. It's like, we're all trained to operate the defibrillator. We're all trained to know some CPR. And the AED, for those who don't know what that is, automatic defibrillator, tells you everything you need to do. Literally walks you through every fucking step of the way. And you need how to give compressions, where to give compressions, where to put the straps, where not to, you know. It's so easy. You just point and go. Sometimes you just want to put it on the body just so you can just make sure there's pulse, so when they get there or the medicals get there, they can just take care of it. That was a weird one story right there. Oh, they got stories up the ass. But man, it's been a fucking wild. I knew this week was going to be the roughest week for theme parks in general. SeaWorld has fucked their people more times than I can count. I'm not even going to get into that in front of I don't work for that company. And Disney, I have so many friends and family that work there, you know, and I feel for them first, because like once that 80,000 number fucking popped up, and that's company wide, that's from like Walt Disney World to Walt Disney Disneyland to, you know, these Gulliver's Adventures, that when my buddy sent me the fucking private letter that he got, the email that he got, it was like, oh wow. It's not private though, because it's made it out there in the public, so. And then the unions, so now they're saying even unions, people, the full-timers aren't even fucking safe. So, I don't know, even with Universal, I mean, I know they're doing what they gotta do. I mean, they're trying to keep the company fucking afloat. You know, you're putting all this money in. But I will get back to the story I was going to mention earlier with the state manager, me and him and my boss had a chat. And he was stating that, you know, with all this influx and shit, weird stuff going on, he hopes that it makes Universal think, start looking inside the park and start rebuilding or finishing up projects we should do in the park to bring more tenants into the park. Such as like E.T. Hopefully, maybe 1 year getting a fucking revamp. This is not a rumor. It's not anything. It's something we think it should happen. Like, we think E.T. should get a revamp. It should get updated, like, with YouTube 2020 specs, like animatronics and cool shit, because that's really a cool venue. You know, what the hell's going on with Sinbad? We don't know. Like, they shut that shit down like fucking hot white on rice. T2 got shut down so fast, you know, 3 years ago. We didn't even know. I mean, I knew because, like, some dude backstage was measuring shit with a laser measure and going, you know, taking measurements and going, okay. And I was like, hey man, like, what's going on? He's like, you're closing, I just don't know when. What he told me, what he directly told me. He was a cool cat. He was a young cat my age. I'm 34, and he was like in his 30s. He's like, brother, you're shutting down, I don't know when. He goes, just get ready. I was already planning on leaving T2, you know, then anyway, but shit happens, you know, so you don't know what might happen, you know, but these furloughs, going on furlough fucking sucked because I was getting paid, and then Universal was like, a furlough, and I'm like, okay, I know it's going to make money, adds me, but luckily unemployment kicked in, and that was nice. Getting unemployment was a fucking bitch, getting on unemployment, now I'm off unemployment. Haven't seen an unemployment check in a long time, like 4 months, so it's good to be employed by Universal. It's good to be with the family that I've been with, but it's sad to say goodbye to those who may come back in the future. Those on furlough, still my mom's still on furlough for her medical reasons, but, you know, it's grateful to be with a company that allows me to be myself daily, but it also hurts to see a lot of those friends go that I won't see. A lot of people gave me the time of day and gives me the time of day, you know, to like say hello. You know, that hi every morning is nice. That beautiful hi is like, hey man, how you doing? Or, you know, it's to be fucking respectful to each other. And that's the one thing that we, as team members and cast members and whatever the fuck you want to call us, you know, we need to be to each other, because it's like, it doesn't matter how much you make, it's like, you know, we all work for the same fucking company that tries to be the best that we can be for the guests, you know. Because I had people that come all across the country and the world. You know, I had one guy, man, walk in, family, and they're just like, they're fucking like they're just smiling at the Globe, they're smiling at City Walk, and I'm like, what the fuck are they smiling at? And it's like, you realize, like, for them, they don't get to see any of this. For us, it's like, we're so fucking numb to the restaurants, we're so numb to the venues, we're so numb to, like, the stupid shit. But to them, it's like everything. I remember this, I'll tell you this fucking cute little story. And I remember I was having a bad day. I got into a fight with a lead, which was like your day boss. You know, got into like a little argument. And this lead was like in my fucking face about some real stupid shit for the day. It was real stupid shit. And I remember this little kid, had to be no more than 8 or 9 years old, man, had like losing his teeth, and she had maybe a few front teeth, and he had to be like a little shit, cutest little shit ever. And I had like a bad thing with the lead, and I'm supposed to load the fucking pre-show for T2, and you gotta load them in the pre-show, and you gotta get everybody ready, and, you know, for the next show, the actors are getting ready, getting all the guns ready, everybody's getting in position, techs are all positioned, and your job is to fucking make sure that it's going smoothly, you make sure they have glasses, making sure they have this, making sure this is going, you're just making sure the shit's moving. And I know this little shit, I call him a little shit, because he's a cute little bastard. I had to turn myself off so fast of anger. And he kept not running, but he kept walking on you, and he got the biggest fucking smile on his face. Like, you couldn't fuck his day up for nothing. And literally, he gets up to our salad bar, which is now the Bourne has no salad bar, which where the cars now is, and the Bourne Q And I think I put those up on Facebook, but you can go on YouTube and find them now. T2, if you watch my T2 walkthrough in a podcast, you'll see what I'm talking about, the little salver. Which, I got busted for that one. I don't know, sir. Anyway. So, the kid comes up to the salver and he pulls himself up a little bit on his tiptoes, and his eyes were fucking beaming. His mouth, he opened his mouth to smile. I reached down and I handed him a pair of glasses. I'm a pissed off little cat. I'm like angry about the fucking conversation we just had at the fucking pre-show about something stupid. You can't be doing that. Like, God, shut the fuck up and let's just do what I wanted to fucking say to her. But, I did my fucking time. But then the little kid comes up, man, he'd be no more than 8 or 9 years old. Maybe even like 6 or 7. I don't even remember. Losing his fucking teeth. Like, blonde hair little kid. Just happy as a little fucker could be. Cute little fucker. And he runs up and kind of walks up and he's so happy looking at all the posters on the wall. And you gotta like play this character as a fucking security guard in this fucking Cyberdyne facility. And he is the happiest little shit. Pulls his arms up across the thing. And smiling. Beaming with nothing but the biggest smile. And I'm like, hi dude, welcome. Welcome to Cyberdyne. And he goes, I'm so happy to be here. Like, he was like, this is the cool, and the smile. And I hand him a pair of glasses, and he goes, he just smiled and said thank you. And I was like, you know what? I need to fucking, I turned myself off with this fucking angry face that I had about the incident I just had like 2 seconds ago. This fucking lead. And this kid was happy as could be. Loved the show. Loved the interactions. His parents were all like happy they had a backpack on. This little kid changed my whole fucking outlook for the day. I was like, fuck, you gotta be happy. Brought them in the show. And the kid was the happiest little shit he could be, and he had his little 3D glasses, and he fucking loved everything about the show. And that's the thing that makes you come back to the theme park. It's like, no matter what happens, you do it for them. You do it for the people that haven't been. You put on that little fucking uniform or that outfit you wear and that little fucking, the theming that you're supposed to do for them, for those certain people, and other people, they just enjoy seeing you. They're so happy to be at their they call it the happy place, because like the one dude who just came back, and a couple people, many families have come back, and it's like the Universal's their happy place. It's that, or the theme parks, or the SeaWorld, or, or a certain ride or venue. Like, I know horror makeup shows, everybody's happy place, because I've been told that. Like, one guy are you open? Oh, where's that? And he goes running down, he goes, oh my god, you're open. And he started, like, weeping, and he's like, I've been waiting for this, and it's been so long, and it's, like, so good to see you guys back. And I'm like, dude, it's great to see you too, man. I have no idea who you are, but it's good to see you too, man. So, where would you like me to stand? And people are being very respectful, like, where they want us to stand, and stuff like that. So, I really hope that this shit gets better. I don't know, and, everybody's like, oh, November will be better. I'm not going to get into politics, but, people need to realize, like, this is bigger than us. COVID's bigger than us. This whole economy is bigger than us. We need to work together to make it be, and be a part of the fucking puzzle that needs to work. And I realize, it's, like I said, don't take anything for granted right now, because it's been really rough. I have friends that have lost their jobs, friends that might not be getting their jobs, and this is not only from Universal and Disney and SeaWorld and many others, but, it's hard. It's hard to see your friends go and do other things, and people are like, I'll find a better job. 9 times out of 10, I've had everybody who left Universal has come back. No fucking lie. I've had friends who literally left, and they come right back. Like, they'll be gone for maybe 2-3 years, and I'll see them back in, see them back in some form of capacity. Either it's at food services, or it's at fucking a backstage role, or it's back of house, or it's trucking, or it's whatever. They're back at, they're back doing whatever, and I'm just like, you told me you would never. I had a friend, case in point, said fuck you everybody on the list, wrote fuck you emails to everybody. He burned so many bridges on his way out of that company. He's like, fuck you, I'll never work, and then moves all the way to his fucking country. He moved to some state, I forget what he was fucking doing. He kept saying it was going to be the biggest, best job ever. About a year and a half later, I get an email through like Facebook or Messenger or whatever the fuck it was. hey man, how you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm alright, how you doing? Like, how's everything with your life and shit? And apparently the company laid them all off, and there was no jobs where he was at, and he thought the fucking grass was greener on the other side. And sadly it wasn't. And he texted me, he texted everybody that he knew. He was like, are you still with Universal? I'm like, yeah. He's like, hey, do you think you could put the good word in for me? Me and the wife and the kids are planning on moving back down to Florida, to find a new job, and maybe I can get something at a warehouse or something like that. But right now it's been really fucking rough, and we're like on what's end, and we thought, it's just been fucking devastating. And I said, hey man, like, I'll give you names and numbers, but I don't think any of them want you back. You burned fucking bridges, and he did. He burns a lot of bridges with a lot of people. So I don't remember what happened. I know he moved back down to Florida, somewhere in Florida. I think he's either working at a Amazon or some shit. I don't know. But it's the case of, well, don't burn your fucking bridges. No matter how bad you hate the fucking company, don't burn them. And I know some people from Universal will be watching this and listening to this, and it's been a while. For me, it's been a wild ride. It's been very painful. This past weekend, this past fucking 5 months, I've had more friends leave the company and come back. And like I said, I don't know if it's my last year with Universal for the days I'm working. I'm probably going to be working only 1 day a week, just for my own sanity. And I need to focus on my own stuff anyway that bring me joy, because the company's been good to me. It's been good to be there. It's just, for me, in general, it's just, I feel like I'm plateaued. I'm plateaued where I need to be. I'm plateaued where managers don't want to move me around. I have great managers now, and I've had great managers that have been amazing, and I can't thank my bosses enough that I have now, because I don't know where I found these people, but they've been fucking amazing. They're just awesome. They make the day awesome. They're very beautiful. And that's what bosses should be. I've had bosses that try to be a friend, but my bosses that I have now are fucking awesome. And, I have a cast and crew that I get to work with daily that are like family, and it's been a pleasure working with them for over 10 years. And, like I said, man, it's been weird. Like I said, being from hired and fired in 1 day, and then 2 years later, going back home to visit family, and I literally walk into the Sears and Roebuck that I was terminated from. And I remember I was being followed by security. I walked in there, I told my buddy, I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be in here. I know it's been a few years since this shit happened, but I walked in, and literally I was being followed. And then I walk up, and we were going to get something. We were going to get something for selling. I don't know what. We had to get something for a tractor or some fucking grill thing. I guess somebody was buying. And a few people recognized me. They recognized who I was. And one guy goes, what the fuck did he say? He goes, oh yeah, somebody was like, oh, are you going to use a gift card on that? I was like, nah. I was like, I'm not the one buying it. And the guy's like, how you doing? Because I looked, I was in shape, and I had a fucking tan. I got tan now. My arms are fucking tan from. If I take the Apple Watch off, I got tan marks literally from being outside. I miss my lobby, and the guest missed the lobby too. So not the Horn Mega show. But right now it's being utilized for COVID. So sadly, but it is what it is. We gotta all work together. But I get there, and the security guy, like somebody spotted me. Somebody else spotted me. They're staring at me, and I'm like, how you doing? And they're like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm alright. They're like, oh, well, where are you working now? I'm like, I'm actually out of the state. I'm actually in Florida. Working at Universal. And they're like, fucking wide-eyed. Like, wait, you? I'm like, yeah, I've been with Universal for like 3 years. 3-4 years now. And, Sears now, like the one that I worked at is now fucking bankrupt and all that other shit. They ended up closing and shit. I asked my friends, and like my friends work, used to work there. My friend was like, yeah, they gave us a fucking severance package and shit, and shut us down. So maybe it wasn't a bad thing. It's weird, it's weird, going from fucking hired and fired into a company where I'm becoming a theme park worker, which nothing will ever compare to this. Like I said, unless you work for fucking the DMV or you work for a fucking tax office where it's like a lot of influx people per hour. I mean, shit, we put through. Me and my buddy Tim Stone were fucking staying in this lady was complaining about something, and we're like, yo, why don't we do, when we get some food, she's complaining about having 100 people walk in. And me and Tim look at each other, we're like, we just dealt with fucking, Tim's like, should I tell her? I'm like, go ahead and tell her. So then Tim's like, you dealt with 100 people? Yeah, we see like 1,000 in fucking an hour. We see like almost maybe 1,000 to 2,000 in an hour. We've hit like 1,800, between an hour. It's fucking rough. When you're cycling fast, when you're moving and grooving, like on a conveyor belt, and you're moving people through the ride, getting them through, people are throwing up, getting sick, people get hurt, people are getting ill, people are, lost kids, lost dead, Terminator, man, I still don't know how I did it. 708 per show was our maximum. We have hit that number during the summers. We were doing cycling fucking full shows every 10 minutes for 3 hours. A lot of fucking people. You're dealing with people from like heart attacks to, that was my second to last day at T22, man. I had a guy who had a fucking heart attack, literally. And I heard a lady yelling at me. You need to give him CPR. I was like, I checked his pulse, got on my knee, checked his pulse, I called for my lead. I was like, yeah, we need health services. The guy shit himself. My man, Roberto, was in the theater, cleaning it up and getting ready for the next set. And Rob goes, oh my god, you can fucking smell it. Rob goes, you okay? I said, yeah, man, the guy just fucking had a heart attack. Just came back to his, checked his pupils. Pupils were fucking dilated a little bit. But he was back. And, I was like, holy shit. So we ended up getting him to health services, which luckily behind the building, so they were already there. They got an ambulance there in like seconds. They must have been on problem. I don't know how the fuck they got there so fast. But they were there in the meantime. Remember the health services guy, because walking up front, he just, because would run to his rounds. And I go, he goes, hey man, you doing okay? I said, yeah, I'm doing alright. I said, yeah man, like, what the fuck happened? Like, I said, you want to hear something stupid? He goes, I go, well, you okay? I was like, yeah, he'll survive. You just had a minor heart attack, had a pretty good, he passed out and his heart fucking stopped. And he came back too. His heart, and just fucking, he either was on nitro or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know the whole story. But, I remember telling the health services guy, I was like, you want to hear something fucking stupid? He goes, what's that? I said, the lady was telling me to give him CPR. She goes, what is she fucking stupid? He's like, you don't give somebody who's back, or, heart and arrhythmia, CPR, you'll probably kill them, shock them, or the goal of CPR is to get their back into fucking sequence, to get their heart back into the correct beat, the arrhythmia, to get the arrhythmia back to where it needs to be. You're telling me to give the guy CPR? He doesn't need CPR, he's back, he's doing his thing, it's crazy. The guy was definitely up there in age, probably about 50 or 60. The oldest person I've ever dealt with, which is a cool story, had to be 80-something years old. I was working at Men in Black, and I was like 5 years then. I think I got my 5 or 6 years then. And the lady, I remember I was at like fucking not Grouper, I was at QC, which is like the person that controls the line and shit like that. And her husband comes up, and he was like in the army and shit, and she goes walking up, they both have their souvenir cups, and I go, oh folks, are you ready today, or just waiting? I was like, oh yeah, we're ready, and they were like expressed, and like put them up, and I was like, she looked young, man, she looked fucking good for like, I was like, so I remember, I was like, oh, you gonna be running? She's like, oh yeah, I love this ride, this is one of my favorite rides. The husband here, he's gonna wait, he's gonna wait for me, he doesn't want to ride today. So I said, so what the hell is your secret to like the longevity? I think she wrote it like twice, because she wanted to get a high score. I go, how old are you? And she told me her age. I went, no shit, what's your secret? She goes, have great sex and don't expect a small shit. And I started laughing. I took my clear calm off and started laughing. I was like, wow. Crazy. But yeah, man, that was like the oldest person I dealt with. I've had people that were 101, like do the horror makeup show and stuff like that, but probably the oldest person I put on a ride was 83 years old. It's fucking crazy. And she loved it. She wrote it like 5 times. Loved it. She said, knew all the ins and outs of like each sequence. Like her husband and her wrote it together a lot. So like, right on. I don't know if she's still kicking. I haven't seen her in a while, but I do see our normal past Walter fan. But Where are we at on time? Holy shit, man, it's been a long one. I've just been fucking rambling, and I'm sorry if this podcast sucks for you guys. I just want to talk about my theme park life, what it's been like for, us theme park workers, man. It's been fucking, like I said, it's been fucking insanity this past week, and it's been painful for a lot of coworkers who are now out of work, state managers are out of work, technicians who are out of work. A lot of our techs, a lot of our back of house people are gone. And it's just fucking horrific, I wish them and their families nothing but the best. Like, they'll be back, I'm sure. It's just Universal is just going through and cleaning as much budget as they can right now because it's hard. It's hard paying somebody when you ain't got the money. Unemployment's another thing. We lost so many fucking good people, so many good state managers, so many good techs, and my heart goes to their family, man. It really does. Like, it's rough. I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, my job sucks. It's this and this. And like I said, from being hired and fired in one day to back the next week to work and being with the company for fucking now almost 14 years. Almost 15 in April if I make it, It's not up to me, it's up to the company, but like I said, I'm blessed to have really great bosses, really good people that I work with, really good coworkers. I'm blessed to have all that, and to be honest, I get that, it gets told me every day, like, what's it like being disabled, and then, having to do this shit daily, and, it's like, never take nothing for granted, even though I walk with crutches. It's like, it could be fucking worse. I came from crawling to a wheelchair to fucking crutches to people not giving me the chance to do anything to starting a company with a business partner, which, I see you, motherfucker. I saw you work out the other day. Good job, man. Fucking lifted 174 pounds. Good job for you, man. Fucking deadlifted 174 pounds, John. Good job, brother. Proud of you. But, it's fucking crazy to fucking be doing this, and, you should take nothing for granted. It fucking sucks. Yeah, you're broke. Yeah, this happens. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, I wish I had this, and this, and this. But, I take it one day at a fucking time. And I always tell people, I'm like, I wish life was easier, but we'll make it through. I have nothing really to be complaining about. Otherwise, I'm broke. I've got credit card companies coming after me. And, yeah, it's COVID. I'm being paid bare minimum to pay bills, and, it's okay. It's a rough time for everybody, but you have people that are, really, really fucking trying to make ends meet and can't, and we're in an election year that's fucking insanity. I'm not very political, so I'm not going to really talk to any of that. And I don't want this podcast to be about that. But it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane that you wake up one day and you don't know if you're going to have a job. That was me, though, for like fucking months. When we were off, I was like, okay, OpenMind's still running. OpenMind's still doing a lot of shit. I did a lot of fucking head brackets, a lot of fucking things for pro bono, and luckily I was able to get a lot of that off in material time and getting more material. So I was able to help people that were in need with COVID, and donate some gloves and my Nurtile gloves for the resin printers, and help people definitely in need with helping getting their printer fixed, and people that were trying to get their stuff up and running. And I feel blessed with doing that. I'm not a very religious person, but I believe there's much more than me, much more than us as a human race. I don't know when this is going to fucking end. I don't know what the next goal in mind is. I know for me in general, it's to look somewhere else. Honestly, I've never felt that way much more than I feel now, is to like make sure you have another thing lined up, because you don't know the thing you're working on right now is going to last long or what it's going to be. But, take it one fucking step at a time, because like tomorrow's not guaranteed. That's why, like, I was telling my girlfriend a story that happened to me a few months ago. The credit card company, Discover, fucking called me up. I'll say who the fuck they are. I don't care. Because I owe them some money for the business, stuff like that. I owe about $8,000 and credit card debt. just credit card bills and stuff like that, and I'm dealing with all that, and it's just things I needed for the company, and I've been doing a lot of things pro bono and trying to make the company work, and working my ass off trying to do things, and they finally called me up and they kind of try to like quietly threaten me with, you owe this and this, and you can't afford this, right? And I said, no, I can't. Unfortunately, things are going on. We moved to the house, and the house is a whole fucking mess of what it was, with all that falling through. Now that I'm in my room recording this, and this is where we're going to be recording mostly. And paying fucking rent and mortgage, and it was fucking rough, and explaining that to them, and I remember them saying to me, trying to threaten me, and I'm like, and I know a few of you are listening on the fucking line trying to threaten me, and whatever, with your attorney or whatever, I paid you back in more in interest. I covered more in interest payments than I did what I owe. So if you're trying to threaten me with taking my livelihood and all this shit, go ahead, take it. It's like, I laughed at them. I was like, guys, you're threatening somebody who doesn't have much, but is trying to do much with what he doesn't have. So I'm trying to do a lot with what little I got, and they're like, oh yeah, well you gotta understand we need our money. It's like, you've been paid back more than some of my fucking interest payments, so don't even. I was grateful when the stimulus had come out to pay my brother back completely, so he's completely paid off. So, one step at a time. I'll be out of debt soon, I'm sure. I'm dealing with the national debt relief right now, and I haven't been able to pay payments on that. COVID has fucked many people, and I'm pretty sure most of these credit card companies are going to be like, oops. It's like, do you really expect someone to fucking pay that? It's either put food on the table or pay the power bill or pay you, and you can fucking more than likely wait. I don't think anybody has a problem fucking not paying you for a while. So, yeah. It's been fucking wild. It's been wild. But that's my life story with this whole thing. It's like, I started at Universal and get going. Didn't think I was going to make it to fucking year 2. Did. Made it to year 3, made it to year 4, made it to year 5. Year 5 was fucking interesting. Got a laptop bag that's sitting over here with a Universal 5-year pin on it. Got my 1, 10, and 5 sitting on my desk in front of me. And, it's wild. You don't think, especially for me, I was like, I'm in operations. I'm a fucking nobody. It's shocking though. My Pernesco, those who know who he is, his sister works for a blood lab, like a lab. It does a lot of like blood work and stuff like that. So, and she's running labs on somebody from Universal, and she goes, "I'm gonna see if they know Ali." she goes, "Do you know a guy with crutches who works on like the Horror Makeup Show?" And they're like, "Yeah, I know him." It's like, God damn. She's like, "Ali's a celebrity, so apparently I'm known." You know of me, you don't know who I am. I was something, you know of me. You know of me, you don't know who I am. I may have said hello to you or whatever, but you just try to say hi to people. Be yourself, be genuine, and fucking be loving to everybody, So, I don't know what the next fucking months to come. I really don't, I don't know what Open Mind's gonna be doing. I know what I'm gonna be doing with Open Mind. It's just one step at a fucking time. I got to play some ZBrush today, played around with that. I'm looking into VR, so I would like to maybe get a VR headset for digital sculpting. So I'm looking into that. Maybe that would be more awesome. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's just been wild. Yes, I did look at the PS4 and the Xbox Series X. Probably around tax time, maybe. You really need to go to credit cards and pay those fucking things off. Because you need credit to get around the world. But it is what it is. One thing at a fucking time. COVID's not going anywhere, that's for damn sure. But one thing I can say, guys, please, for the love of God, be kind. There's theme park workers that are going through a lot of shit right now. And we don't know what's going to happen. We don't, the other jobs, but, it's fucking wild. It is really wild. You don't know. Don't take anything for granted. Check on your friends, make sure they're doing okay. I am going to sign off and have some coffee. I'll probably have some dinner. It is 5:11 right now. And I wish you guys nothing but the best. It was good talking to you, good podcasting with you. I'm sorry this is a rambling fucking episode. I've been rambling back and forth of like topic and whatever. But, it's, like I said, it's been a really little time for theme park employees in general. We're here for you, you're here for us, and we really put our fucking time in for stuff like that. So, check out the one phone call before this. I was talking with the BBB, Better Business Bureau, here in Florida, looking to get registered with BBB. So now I have a profile with BBB. I haven't paid the bill to get all certificates and certified and all that shit like that. They look into the stuff. Pretty cool. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I love you all. Hope your week goes well. Have a great weekend. I will talk to you hopefully next week. I will probably get in podcasting mood and hopefully get some more people on. And hopefully, we'll see what happens. Alright guys, love you. Keep an open mind. Have a good one. I'll see you. You've been listening to an Open Mind Industries production. For everything Open Mind, visit openmindindustries.com. Keep an open mind.